DC called this day a black day for U.S. Air Force, where 6 aircraft shot down by Iran in less than 24 hours, including F-15E Strike Eagle shot down, 1 pilot rescued, 1 crew member still missing, then 2 of the A-10 Warthogs hit, 1 crashed into the Persian Gulf, pilot rescued, another made emergency landing with 1 engine out. After that, 2 of the HH-60W Jolly Green 2 rescue helicopters hit by Iranian fire, crews safe, some wounded. Moreover, 1 F-16 declared emergency, landed safely, and 1 KC-135 tanker also declared emergencies. Not only that, but Iran has even claimed another jet was downed near Keshem Island. This shows one thing clearly: the air campaign is becoming far more dangerous, with rising risks for U.S. forces in the region. Make sure to follow for latest update. We have some major news.
عملیات به اصطلاح نجات ارتش آمریکا که در قالب عملیات فریب و فرار فوری به بهانه نجات خلبان هواپیمای ساقط شده خود در یک فرودگاه متروکه در جنوب اصفهان تحریزی شده بود، با حضور به موقع نیروهای مسلح جمهوری اسلامی ایران به شکست کامل انجامید. پیرو اطلاعات قبلی در بررسی‌های تکمیلی توسط کارشناسان حاضر در صحنه مشخص گردید 2 فروند هواپیمای نظامی ترابری C-130 و 2 فروند بالگرد بلک هاک ارتش آمریکا با تحقق وعده الهی و یاری خداوند متعال و آتش خشم مقدس لشکریان اسلام در نیروهای مسلح مقتدر منهدم شدند که این اقدام سطح ناکامی پی در پی ارتش آمریکا را افزایش داد. بر همگان ثابت شد که ارتش زبون و ورشکسته آمریکا در این جنگ تحمیلی در برابر اراده الهی نیروهای مسلح جمهوری اسلامی ایران نیروی مسلح و برتر محسوب نمی شود. به دنبال این عملیات غرورآفرین و پیروزمندانه، رئیس جمهور شکست خورده آمریکا با دستپاچگی و دروغ از طریق جنگ روانی تلاش دارد از معرکه شکست فرار کند و همچون گذشته به یاوه‌گویی‌ها و فرافکنی‌های خود ادامه می‌دهد. هرچند واقعیت میدان خود گویای دست برتر نیروهای مسلح مقتدر جمهوری اسلامی ایران میباشد.
Shalom, shalom. We're here with another lesson. But before I get started, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rechak Wadash, to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule well. I'd like to get double honor. Shalom to the 144,000, to the 1/3, to the hopeful elect. Shalom. We're here with a lesson I'm going to call the hammer of the earth is brought down to the ground. And as you can see, yet another embarrassing loss for Babylon the Great, aka America, as Iran is literally putting boot the ass to them and showing the world that the mighty America can be beaten now, that they're not the top dog that they thought they was. After that stunt that they pulled in Venezuela, that sneak attack, that bitch move, they thought they had everyone afraid of them and they can just walk around and literally do what they want. If you're watching the news, you'll know how much pride and bragging Babylon the Great, along with his president, did during this time, saying that they can do whatever they want, they can take whatever land they want, and if anybody think otherwise, hey, they'll knock them out too. But as we're seeing, little old Iran is putting America in what's that word? They're packing America up. That's what I want to say. They're packing them up, and it's just not something to where it's like between one nation and the other nation. No, the whole world is watching as America is being packed up by Iran. And we know at one point America was the military wise, they were the chief country. But now with foolish leaders and men who have no military experience running everything, they're not that powerhouse that they used to be. But we all know it's the will of the Lord that Babylon the Great is being taken down right now. Because without Yahweh Bashim Hawashai, the other nations would have no chance against them. But this is the will of Yahweh Bashim Hawashai, that Babylon the Great goes down, that is being made a fool of right now. All right, we're going to start here first. This is Jeremiah 50, verse 23 and 24. How is the hammer of the whole earth cut asunder and broken? How is Babylon become a desolation among the nations? And we're watching the hammer of the earth being broken, being cut asunder. Why? Because they feel like that they was never going to be beaten, but didn't know that that time clock was already coming to its end on their military power, on their might, on them being the whole hammer of the earth. So now Yahweh Bashim Hawashai is showing the other nations that, yeah, Babylon can be beaten now. You don't have to be afraid of them. And with these social media sites like TikTok and Instagram and Facebook and YouTube, it's being put out there at such an alarming rate that they can't control the information that's going out about it. So the world is seeing them being cut asunder, being broken. The world is watching and understanding like, you know what? They really not that good. They hands not that clean. And it's funny to me. I know it should be funny to you brothers and sisters out there as well, because you see the kind of pride that they had when they done what they did to Venezuela. Not to see Trump begging for help. Well, maybe they should come over here and fight for the strays of Hamoud. Yeah, it's over with. You're no longer that big scary monster that you used to be, Babylon the Great. Now you're like everyone else. Verse 24, I had laid a snare for thee, and thou art also taken, O Babylon, and thou was not aware. Yeah. Yahweh Bashim Hawashai used Venezuela to pump up y'all pride even more. So when it was time to come at the Iran, you'll be all in. You feel like, hey, what we did to Venezuela, we can do it to anybody. And it put y'all into a war, into this situation to where you're being cast down to the ground and broken. That you have been shown to the nations that Babylon the Great ain't that place no more. They ain't really like that no more. You're being exposed. Like I said, the only reason you got over on Venezuela, besides them being a weaker nation than y'all, militarily, financially, and other ways, was because Yahweh Bashim Hawashai allowed them to be caught by you. But now he's putting the spirit on these other heathens to show out on y'all, to show exactly how really weak you have become. Thou art found and also caught, because thou hast striven against Yahweh Bashim Hawashai. Yeah, you've been found out. You've been caught. That you're not that big bad guy that you used to be. That whatever happened in Venezuela is not going to happen with the rest of the world. You got that one lucky punt, where you see two people fighting and one dude just throw maybe this wild ass punch that connect and knock the other guy out, even though during most of the fight he was losing. So you got that one lucky punt, knocked out Venezuela with that sneak move. Then you try to go over there to a competent opponent, and you got laid to rest. So now you got to run out of there with your tail between your legs. You try to sneak in with your Delta Force, they got handled, or whoever it was, like you did Venezuela. You try to come in with these jets, as we just seen. They're getting shot down. Those pilots are captured. Then when you try to rescue mission to save them, that failed. This is the will of Yahweh Bashim Hawashai. He's showing you that he no longer backing you, that he no longer putting these nations in subjugation to you. So without the Lord, you have no real strength to do the things that you've been doing over these past 500 years where you been the hammer of the earth. So now look at you. You're embarrassed. You got your pants pulled down. You look pee showing. Yeah. And the whole world got their hand out pointing and laughing at you. Because now you've been exposed. You got caught by that trap that Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushai has set for you. We're going to go here. This is Isaiah 14, verse 10 and 11. All they shall speak and say unto thee, art thou also become as weak as us? ? Art thou become like unto us? Yeah, like I said, the Lord had you in the position of power. But now that he's not backing you, now that he no longer forcing the nation to be subject to you, now the nation looking at them, hey man, they just like us. They ain't unbeatable. We can get by these guys. We can take them. Because that's what this war with Iran is showing the rest of the nation. Because I can tell a few nations was still scared after the Venezuela incident. But now that they're seeing, even though y'all really military-wise outrank Iran, but y'all getting beaten. And badly at that. But like I said, that come down to who's running the show. That come down to the leadership. Even if you have a powerful weapon, if the person that wielding it don't know what they doing with it, how strong is that weapon? And that's what it is. It's not that the military of Babylon has become weak. It's just the one who's wielding that power is weak. So, all in all, they're making everybody look bad. So now, even though you have this great sword, you have a weak user. So it's like so it didn't really even out. You're no longer great anymore. You no longer have the military mind to run this place like it's supposed to be. So now you become even with the rest of the nation. And that's why they asking this question. Hey, have they becoming weak? They weak like us now? So you the same as us. Yeah. That's all it is. You the same as rest of those nations. Thy prompt is brought down to the grave. And we're going to get that word prompt. Because we're seeing Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushai through this war with Iran, stripping Babylon the Great of its pride. That one thing that they love so much, that they just felt like, hey, this is it. We got it like that. The Lord has stripped them of their pride. You got Trump begging the EU and the other allied nations to help him, trying to make it sound as if Babylon don't have to do it, but they need to do it. But it all just slick side asking for help or pleading. One of those, please help us out, because we getting our ass whipped when we getting embarrassed. And that's what's going on. The pride of America is being wounded through this war with a country that they really should have just belt their ass to. But like I said, poor leadership. Let's see. Prompt. Strong 8:13:47. Ga'an. Exaltation, majesty, pride, majesty, exaltation, excellent, of nation, of God, of Jordan, pride, arrogance, and the bad set. Yeah. So we're watching the pride of Babylon being cut asunder. Ga'al from Strong H 1342, the same as Strong H 1346. Arrogancy, excellency, excellent, majesty, prompt, pride, proud, swelling. So yeah, the Lord is cutting the pride of Babylon up out of here, man. Through this war, through this fight with Iran. They no longer feel like they're untouchable. Trump just lying more and more, but he getting more and more desperate. He's not even believing his own lies anymore, man. Because the Lord had ripped the pride right out of them. Because they keep taking loss after loss after loss to Iran with these military excursions. So we're going to read this again. Thy pride is brought down to the grave, and the noise of the vows and worms is spread under the tree, and the worm is spread under thee, and the worms cover thee. Yeah, this place is over with, man. It's done. It's through. It's on the last leg. And the Lord started first by destroying the pride out of these people to let them know, yeah, you no longer have the run of the show. You no longer the hammer of the earth that I made you out. Just like Pharaoh brought up and made to rule the world, just like Alexander the Great and the Greeks, just like the ancient Romans. All those militaries, you can throw in the Persian and the Mede too, Salakia. Put them in there. All those great nations that ruled the earth, that had power over the earth, all those given by the hands of Yahweh Ba'ashim and Hawashai. So now, when it was their turn to Salakia, although were given power by Yahweh Ba'ashim Hawashai, and just like they were given power, that power was also taken away. And what we're seeing now is Yahweh Ba'ashim Hawashai taking away the power that Babylon once held over the earth as the hammer of the earth. That's why we're gonna get this. 1 Samuel 2, verse 6 and 7. Yahweh killeth and maketh alive. He bringeth down to the grave and bringeth up. Yahweh maketh poor and maketh rich. He bringeth low and he lifteth up. Yeah. So he lifted up America to a point to where it became this powerful beast. But now we're seeing him bringing it down low. Now we're seeing him tearing it apart. Through the reading of this word, through his men, the prophet. So now these other nations are no longer scared of Babylon. Now you become just as weak as them. Why? Because you don't have Yahweh Ba'ashim Hawashai forcing these nations to go into subjection under you. Your military ain't worth shit. You can't use your media for lies and propaganda now, because there's social media out there now. So everything you say will be checked on those social media sites. So that pride that you once had is no longer there. It's been weakened. It's been shattered through Yahweh Ba'ashim Hawashai. All right. We're going to get this. This is our last one. Obadiah verse 2 and 3. Behold, I have made thee small among the heathen. Thou art greatly despised. And we know the book of Obadiah going to Esau, Edom. And what's the chief city of Esau, Edom? America. Babylon the Great. So they're being greatly despised by the nation. That's why he can't get no help. He's going to have to win this war on his own. And like I said, with bad leadership, that's not going to happen, man. Verse 3, the pride of thy heart had deceived thee, thou that dwellest in the clefts of the rock, whose habitation is high, and that said in his heart, who shall bring me down to the ground? And we're watching Yahweh Ba'ashim Hawashai bring America down to the ground, man. Like as it says in that Jeremiah 49, come set in the dust, O virgin daughter of Babylon. Yeah, come set in confusion, because now y'all trying to figure out how in the hell we losing to these people. I know we're stronger. I know we're better, but we're losing. But it's the will of Yahweh Ba'ashim Hawashai. He no longer needs you. He no longer needs you to be the hammer of the earth. Now you just one of the nation. And this war with Iran is proving that fact. You're just one of the nations. Remember, Yahweh Bashim Shai ruleth in the kingdom of men. He'll set it up whoever he will. They're roughly paraphrasing. So he no longer setting you up. He's bringing you down. And this is going to continue because it's the will of Yahweh Bashim Shai that it does. So that prophecy may be fulfilled. But that's all I had on that. I hope this lesson was edifying. I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Ruach HaKodesh. Shalom.